Hello, everybody. Just thought I'd go live. I haven't been live but once. Welcome, everybody. My lighting is not great in this room. I've been listing using Car Dealer Pro for a little bit, and I wanted to take a break. Thought it'd be fun to chat with anybody who wanted to come on live and hang out. Welcome, everybody who does show up. It's been a while since I've done a live, so hopefully we get some people who show up. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, I'm going to be posting it, just chit chatting with y'all. Hopefully, you guys are all on a good day. Probably just some stuff, like some of this stuff. I mean, I could technically put this through Car Dealer Pro, but do I want to? I don't know. It's going to be more difficult to do that way. Hey, what's up, Hot Duke? How you doing, brother? I'm just going to do some card listing and talking. I got this for $1. Was it yesterday? Not a super high-end card, obviously, but it is a hard card to find, which is always important. I feel like when you're going to dollar bins and stuff or bargain bins. I paid $1. I feel like, you tell me, I think this is a steal for $1. 3 of 49, Robert Covington, who did play for a bit of time in the NBA. It's going to be posted on my phone. I've been doing some Car Dealer Pro stuff. I'm taking a break. I need to take a break. Welcome, everybody. Anybody who's joining, feel free to chit chat with me. I think one of my main things with dollar boxes and bins is finding low numbered stuff. That's kind of the way sometimes to really find the deals. My lighting in here is terrible, guys. That's why I got to do the scanner. There we go. Perfect. Get the backside. Good looking card though. Here's the interesting part about this card. Check this out, guys. So it's hand numbered 3 or 5 of 49. And then on the back, it's also numbered. You see that? 5 of 49. So it's numbered twice, which is interesting. But yeah, guys, list with me, hang out, talk, do whatever you guys want. See if I can get the lighting in here to actually work. The one thing about this apartment is the lighting is so wonky. And it just goes in and out. Welcome, everybody joining us. Hey, what's up, David 8? How are you doing, man? Welcome. Like the new dude, doesn't look like poo like Dave's. What's up, Kane? Okay, you do. That's your opinion, my friend. You can like whoever you like. What's up, David? How are you doing, bro? It's good to have everybody here, guys. If you don't know who I am, I'm Carey, American Arbitrage Cards. I spend most of my time reselling cards-wise, going to the bins, going to the dollar boxes, going to the bargain bins. I like open retail. Sometimes I'll open cheap hobby stuff. I'm not a big hobby box fan in general because they're too expensive for what they offer. I want a lot of cards that I can, put through bulk, basically, is what I'm looking for. Card Dealer Pro got bought out. Yeah, Card Dealer Pro got bought out like last year by Collects. They got bought out by Collects last year. So yeah, when I went to like Dallas for the Collecticon video, which you may have seen last, Collects is basically the company that handles Card Dealer Pro. They work pretty well together. But Card Dealer Pro, man, has changed pretty much everything I do. I've went from like 500 listings, probably 200 or 300 being cards, to like 5,500 listings on eBay and like 5,000, maybe 5,200 being cards. So that's been a big thing. Let me know if you can hear me okay. For some reason, I can't get my mic attached, which is annoying. Sorry, guys. Let me know if you can hear everything okay. Let me see. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. I'm thinking of investing in a disc cleaner. Yeah, you can definitely do that. If you're going to be doing enough video game stuff, it's definitely worth it. If you don't do much video game stuff, then it's really not worth it. Favorite NFL team? That's a good question. I'm in Vegas, so I'm trying to get into the Vegas Raiders. I'm just not a huge Las Vegas Raiders fan. I'll tell you this. The Oakland A's have been my favorite team since I was a kid, and they're moving to Vegas. That's huge. I'm a diehard Utah Jazz fan. If I had to choose an NFL team, it's going to be the Raiders right now. But here's the funny thing. I grew up mildly into the, well, actually, I was into the Chargers most of my childhood, but I didn't care enough to stick with them. We'll put it that way. Audio is gravy. Good to hear it. I'm holding out for the fast scanner because no matter how fast the scanner works, it still takes me the time to list them, LOL. But I want one. Yeah, no, I got the 8170, which is, faster than I can handle. I'm still struggling to get like 200 up a day. That's my goal today. And here's my problem with going fast today. You can go super fast if you're willing to do like a lot of, 1993 Topps baseball, because it will get everything. And it does get actually a decent amount of these. But I'm going through these autographs. I got a Collecticon, and yesterday I got some of these, I believe, I haven't done the video yet, but I got some of these yesterday. So a lot of these I actually have to go through individually and make sure it's correct on Card Dealer Pro. So I'm going a little bit slower, but it's like higher end stuff. It's like $5 to $20 stuff instead of $1.50 stuff. How often do you go to Legacy? I go to Legacy like twice a month lately. I've been going to Dark Side LV because they have a lot more boxes. But Legacy, here's the thing. This is the cool thing. If you start doing like videos around your neighborhood, I feel like they're watching my videos, not because it's like they're big videos, but just they know the local stuff that's going on. So Legacy had like a box and a half of new stuff. And when I went in, they talked to me like they like knew my videos and stuff, if that makes sense. So I feel like they're listening and they're hopefully going to be putting out more boxes, because I think every card shop, or at least every card shop I'd want to go to, is going to have all the stuff that every card shop has that the regular people who aren't the dollar boxers love, which is, the boxes, obviously, slabs, hopefully like a whatnot component so they can make consistent money. But the dollar boxes are great because they're going to get so many of these collections, so many case breaks they do. Maybe people don't pay. There's a lot of stuff that they could put into those boxes that they really don't want to deal with that I would love to deal with. I deal with all day. Maybe my boy from Boise State, Kellen Moore, will take them to the playoffs. Kellen Moore, where's he coaching? Wasn't he on the Cowboys coaching? I forgot. See, Hot Duke, you're a Boise guy. So I was looking at the coaching staff for my University of Utah Utes. We got a Quinton Ganther, who used to be with Weber State, so he was a running back, and then we have a Luther Ellis, he was a defensive end that played for Detroit. So we got a lot of the old guys there. I live in Vegas also, and want to hit up Dark Side. Oh, go to Dark Side all day. Dark Side is the best bargain bins in Vegas. It's kind of like show quality. And when you guys, and a lot of you guys, if you just look around your neighborhoods, like in Utah, before I lived here, I lived in Utah, we had like 3 card shows a month. There was like 4 or 5 decent card shops. So, and Utah's not huge. So I feel like most areas, if you look hard enough, I know Boise has a really nice guys. They were guys that came down to the card show in Utah, and I think they had a shop in Boise I got some great deals on cards from them, for example. And Boise's not a big city comparatively. Might be late, but what scanner do you use to upload? The 8170. The 8170 Fujitsu. Fujitsu 8170. What is the best card in your collection, David? I don't really collect, dude, to be completely honest with you. Here's the thing. If I wasn't a flipper, a reseller, I would collect cards because I love cards. I'm selling what I enjoy. It might make more sense because I'm a American picker guy. It might make more sense for me to focus more on DVD player, VHS players or whatever, or, video games, but I'm not as interested in those. I'm interested in sports cards. So I spend my time focused on sports cards and getting good at it so that I can make a living doing what I love. What I do separate a little bit, and I'm not selling right now. I love Sharif Abdul-Rahim cards. I got like a binder with some cards in it. Here's the things I like to PC. Stuff that's cheap. I don't want to collect like Kobe. Everybody collects Kobe. I want to collect stuff that people aren't thinking about, not because it's worth any money. Because if it's worth money, my problem is I'm going to flip it. So Sharif Abdul-Rahim cards I like a lot. I'm trying to collect Jazz stuff. And I'm trying to get into, Oakland A's. There's a guy named Ball Genius or Ball Card Genius on TikTok who's an Oakland A's collector. He does a lot of these like green parallels for the A's and stuff. I love that. That's something I could get into. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the live. I don't collect anymore in the classic sense. Everything's for sale, but until it sells, I suppose it's part of my collection. Here's the thing, like being a full-time reseller for the last 12 years, like stuff, like you just get tired of it a little bit. Like I went to Heritage Auction last week and, they let us hold like over $1 million comic books, for example. I was holding cards that were worth tens of thousands of dollars. What would be cooler to me would be like a Sharif Abdul-Rahim autograph. Then that, I'm not joking. It was cool to hold it and it was expensive and that was cool. But I mean, it's just stuff. All of it, even the $1 million cards, the Honus Wagners, it's just stuff. And I love the card aspect of it, but like the actual value of it, I don't see it, if that makes sense. I'm different that way. I'm more interested in like the Oscar Gamble card with his hair, popping out, or just like cool, interesting looking cards. The Bo Jackson with the baseball bat. That's cool to me. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm trying to to talk about on my channel, which there's other guys like me. I was just on the live with the Dollar Box, who does a lot of that kind of stuff, looks in boxes. I was hanging out with a Million Cubs Project this last week. Bo, who has a live show that's awesome. How do you make the transition from collecting to reselling? You just post a couple things on eBay. eBay is the biggest tool you could ever get. All the times when I'm, especially on TikTok, when I'm doing shorts and stuff, people are always saying, oh, eBay fees. eBay fees are cheap, guys. They are cheap. I'm telling you, I did live auctions. I've done a lot of things, guys. So I know it sounds like I'm doing like 40 things. It's because I have. I did live auctions. I was an auctioneer in Utah. We charged 30%. You brought in, you wouldn't bring this in, but you bring in a Reggie Jackson card and it sells for $3. I'm getting 90 cents. eBay is roughly 15%, a little bit less. It's a steal for the kind of traction you get. So just watch a couple videos, how to post on eBay, and post 5 cards tonight. Just get started. You're going to start out where nothing's selling, but over time things will start selling. You may get into it. You might be able to make a little extra money. And with that extra money, you can go buy more cards. You can pay a car bill. You can go on a vacation. You can do all sorts of stuff. Are you going to buy season tickets to the A's? If I have the money, yes. If I can get the money, yes, I definitely will. Vegas is not the cheapest town in the world. One decent Raiders ticket was like on the low end, like I think over $200. I went to the Pro Bowl because it was $50, and I'm like, that's super cheap. And I haven't been to the Death Star yet, the Allegiant Stadium. The Pro Bowl, the atmosphere was dope, but the Pro Bowl itself was boring as hell. Just all honesty, because they've changed it, and as well they should. They shouldn't be playing like where people can get injured. I get it. They pretty much need to just get rid of the Pro Bowl is what they need to do. It's just not very watchable anymore. But yeah, I want to go to a Raiders game, and if they can get season tickets and afford it, yes, all day. I love the A's, and I'm hoping that coming to Vegas will push them to actually spend some money on their team, not just be a farm team for the Yankees or the Red Sox or whoever's taking all our players from us. Have you ever visited Pittsburgh, my town? No, we didn't go through. I went picking across the country last year, and I'm doing it again this year. I'm going from Vegas. Last year I went from Vegas to New York, to Florida, to North Carolina, through Louisiana, through Canada. I went all over the U.S. last year. But I didn't go through Pittsburgh. I was almost in Philly. I was technically in Pennsylvania, but I didn't. Yeah, Pittsburgh's a little bit farther away. I've never been to Pittsburgh before. I've been north. I've been I think Gettysburg is north of Pittsburgh. I'd like to go sometimes. I know you guys have some good shops and stuff from what I've heard from other people. Do you ever consign your cards? I have some cards into COMC. Think it's definitely worth the time if you're into that. The only major issue, there's 2 major issues with me with COMC, is how much it costs per card. I sent it in when it was cheaper, and how long it takes. If it was, I'll even pay what they're asking right now, which I think is like 50 cents or something, if they got the stuff up in like a week or 2, which might be asking too much, but it takes months. And it's kind of it's hard to get momentum on COMC. What I would do is go and buy like some portfolios in COMC and get started that way and not even bother sending stuff in. As far as consignment beyond that, I don't really do graded stuff. So I'm not sending stuff into Heritage or Golden or PWCC or all the rest. I haven't done that. They're not really looking for a card like this. That's not what they're into. I grew up in Vegas. Things sure have changed. We only had the Vegas Stars and the Rebels back then. Yeah, it's changed a lot. I mean, I spent most of my adult life in Utah, but my first 10 years, I grew up in California. We came up to Vegas a lot in the early 90s, when Excalibur was still decent and not just a total, crap hole. It's worn down now. And there was one card shop here in Vegas. I don't even remember what it was called, but there was a card shop we'd go visit. I remember I made my dad take me there. And yeah, I didn't even know of sports teams. I mean, I knew the Rebels. You guys had, LJ and Stacey Ogman, the Plastic Man, Greg Anthony, pretty good team in the early 90s. Hey, what's up, Callie Louise? How you doing, man? Love your vids, and the dollar box stuff is hobby gold. I'm glad, man. See, my whole philosophy on like reselling cards is I'm not a speculator. I don't want to come on here and tell you who to look for. I don't really want to talk. I don't really do much of that myself. And if I did, I'd probably try to keep it to myself because, as you know, nobody knows. All the analytics in the world, you still aren't going to know who's going to get hot and when the perfect time to sell is. So what I'm going to do as a reseller is I'm a picker, right? I'm going to find a card that is undervalued right now, that is worth money right now more than what I'm paying. So I'm picking this up for $1. This won't sell right away, but I should get more than $1 for this. I think you guys would say something like this. I mean, I think a lot of you guys would agree. Should get more than $1. It might only make me $2. It might make me $10. But that's kind of, and like, I'll kind of go through like some of the stuff I've sold lately. Let's just do that. Not all of them are winners either, guys. Like, here's the thing. You got to live in reality when you're a card reseller. Okay. I bought this card for $3. Eric Molds. I thought it was cool. It was cool. I sold it. You probably can't see it. That's the problem. But sold it for $4 free shipping. So after fees, I broke even, and I may even lost a few cents. That happens. But I sold the moment I posted. I posted it like 2 hours ago. Cut my losses. I made a mistake. It happens. I sold a Jair Alexander rookie card I got for $3. You might have saw in my last video. I had 2 of them, paid $3 a piece, sold one for 20. The annoying thing is right after they said they were going to buy it, they said, oh, can I get more pictures? I'm not sending more pictures. You already bought it. 5 days, you don't pay. I'm going to open up the thing. I don't play that game, nor should you. I sold a Lane Johnson, one that numbered to 40 from my last video for $20. I had it at 30. Somebody offered me 20. I paid 3. I'm like, let's get it gone. I'm not trying to get top dollar. I made a quick $10, $12 profit. Bada bing, bada boom. And that's kind of like what I do. And a lot of times I'm selling $1.50, $2 cards, but that's from big purchases I've made in the past, where the payout, like the price per card is like a penny or less. Just sent my first order to ComC. Do you find that after processing, their larger platform makes it easier and faster to sell cards rather than a couch? Not necessarily. I don't think it's slower than eBay, but it is fast enough. If you are on ComC and treating it like a way to be profitable, it's just like eBay. If you're active on eBay and posting every day, right? Whether it's 1 card or 100 cards or 200 cards, you're going to have action on eBay, right? If you're on ComC and you're adjusting your prices, you're buying, selling, you're on there active every day, it should work for you. You're not going to, I don't think anybody's, at least initially going to really make a significant amount of money on ComC. It's a building process. Same with me. I mean, I'm spending a lot of time right now trying to build up my card inventory on eBay, and I'm not necessarily super profitable yet. I'm overall, but the goal is with 20, 30, 40,000 listings, I'm going to be having a couple $100 in sales a day on stuff that I'm not paying much money for. And I'm also doing my Whatnot streams, which many of you have joined me, where I'm making a couple $100 doing 30 minutes of card sales on just excess stuff I have laying around. You put that together with my regular stuff I sell, and obviously I make money on my main channel, American Arbitrage, on all fronts. You can make money, doing eBay or YouTube, TikTok, Instagram and Facebook are weird right now, but there's a lot of ways to make money reselling. And it's not just selling stuff. It's talking about selling stuff. It's doing this, in live streams after this is over, it'll be monetized and I'll make a few pennies, probably more than a few pennies, a few dollars from the people watching afterwards. And that's cool. It's fun. I enjoy that part of business. And it's something that gets me excited because I didn't realize, guys, when I started doing content 3 years ago, before I did this channel, that I would love doing content so much. I'm still not great at it, as you can tell. I mean, my lighting is terrible, but it's the thought that counts. Hey, what's up, Liam's Cards? Hey, the Bargain Boxer. How you doing, brother? I don't have your actual name, so I kept calling you Bargain. So let me know your name, like your actual name, if you want to share it, so I can call you by your name, my friend. Do you price out cards when you're picking, or you just hunch by? A little bit of both. A little bit of both. My goal is to use my noggin as much as possible, because it's like you're refining, you're sharpening your skills, right? And I'm okay in a bargain box making a mistake, right? That Eric Molds I shouldn't have bought. Maybe I should have listed it. I mean, should have looked it up, because the low was 475. I think the next one up was a little bit more. So if it didn't have that one, I might have done better. But I'm cool with taking that risk at $2 or $3 because I'm learning. Now I know, okay, Eric Molds, that kind of an autograph is probably like $4 or $5. If I find it in a quarter box, I'll pick it up. Maybe in a dollar box if I'm really hard up and not doing well. So you process that and then you kind of just move on. So, and I do look up stuff sometimes if I'm excited, like for a TikTok or something, or if I'm really on the edge. maybe they're asking more per card. It's not $1, it's like $5. I'm going to be more. I am not a big spender. I don't like spending $20 on a card. I have to push myself to spend 5. I just do. It's a weakness of mine. Honestly, it really is a weakness. Hey, Flippin' Sports Guy, what's up, man? What's this guy Carrie know about cards? He's a plush guy. We do a lot of plushes on my main channel. Me and my girlfriend Dawn, who goes by Lady Arbitrage. We're both full-time resellers. So if you guys follow me on Whatnot, I'm trying to do a couple card auctions a week, but our main auctions are like estate sale, garage sale stuff where we do, you know what we do, Flippin' Sports Guy. We do all sorts of crazy stuff. And if first edition Charizard. Oh, I have a Michael Jordan Fleer rookie, Beckett 10 Black Label, and a first edition Charizard. Well, Jeffrey, you are doing good. You are doing good. You have 2 very expensive cards. Yeah, those ones are probably safe. I don't know how much they'll go down, but I don't know. I don't like to guess. What was your career before this? I've been a full-time reseller since I've been out of college. So as some of you may know from my other channels, I went to school. I got 3 degrees. I was going to be a history professor, and I graduated in 2000, late, December 2010. The economy wasn't great. I was working at In-N-Out when I graduated from college, so I was going to take like a semester off. I got fired from In-N-Out, and then I needed some money right then, and I started reselling on eBay. I got my first store in Utah like the next year, and I was planning on going back to school and never did. So I never really had a career job. I just got right into this, but I went like all in. I didn't screw around. I went all in, and I've always sold cards. I did a card show once in the 90s. I think I made like $25, and I went and got a finest pack of football, and I got a Randy Moss rookie, and I was super stoked. It was a great freaking card. I was so excited. And then I used to, before I sold on eBay as a full-time reseller, a couple times I would go on eBay and I would buy auctions, like 99-cent, $2, $3 wins. And then I put them together in big collections. I do like in my description, I put pictures, because back then you could do like HTML picture stuff. And I would just start it at $1, and I made like $100 a couple times. It wasn't worth it money-wise. It was to me because I enjoyed it. I literally started at $1. There was a good chance I was going to lose money. I don't even think I was trying to make money. I was just enjoying it. I loved it. I was like, oh, I remember I got a Hanley Ramirez rookie really cheap for like $15, and that was the corner piece of my lot. In 2008, Hanley was a big deal. So I've always loved this. Hey, what's up? I love your content. Like the fact that like yard sales and sports cards, love them both. Good job and great content. Thank you so much. If I'm missing your stuff, I apologize. Retype it or just say, hey, got a question above. I have more people in here than I anticipated. So that's awesome, man. My suggestion, discover what you love and stick with it. Pick one sport, or just low numbered, or on card auto, or favorite team. You can't buy everything, and money is getting tighter. There you go. If you're PCing, I think that's the way to do it. I'll buy anything I can flip, but I think one of my goals with this channel, and you guys maybe give me your feedback, tell me what you think. I think by the summer, I'm going to start like a small video series where I'm trying to find a list that I'm going to create of like the top 50 or 100 baseball rookies of the 80s and 90s. And I'm going to try to find them in bargain boxes. And this is like, I'm talking like guys I like. It's going to have Bonds rookies and then Cal Ripken Jr. rookies, but also dudes I loved. Julio Franco. It's a big Julio fan. Cecil Fielder. I want like every rookie he has. I want to get a Ruben Sierra rookie, a Danny Tartable. I want to get a Kevin Mass and a Brian Taylor, like the bus, because you guys know I like bus stuff. So, and I think I'll make a list, and it'll be a fun little hunt, and I'll maybe make a little video series on that. So I also think I want to do a video series. I was talking to my buddy Dave, NC Flipper, if you guys follow my other channel. I think I'm going to start a series where I'm doing 200 listings a day, and kind of watching my store grow, like for 90 days or something. I'm trying to do 200 today just to get myself used to it before I actually start a series and fail epically. So were the Gamble guys as crazy in person as they are in their videos? I've only met them once, Joe and Justin, and they're, first off, the nicest guys in the world. They'll definitely call out stuff, but they are super nice. If you're cool, they're cool. With me, they were pretty laid back. Joe apparently had seen my in with a lot of people is my TikTok, American Arbitrage TikTok. I went to a yard sale. You guys might have heard it before. So, everybody, when I mention that, I don't mean this arrogantly, but a lot of people know who I am from that, which blows my mind. So they already kind of knew what I did. And Thankfully, maybe that made them nice. I mean, they were nice. They're nice guys. So I could only imagine if you're nice to them, they're nice to you. So super cool people, genuine. I'm rooting for them. They're going to be huge because they got the work ethic. They know how to edit. They got the personalities. They're good dudes. I'm rooting for them, and I hope they just become the biggest card channel on YouTube. I really do. My stuff, what I'm doing, I think will grow, and I think I'll have a decent sized channel long run, but it's different. They have like something I think that's more massive, honestly, and I'm rooting for them, and I think they're great guys. What is the best card you ever found in a dollar box? That's a great question, man. Whew. I'll tell you this. This isn't a dollar box one, but in my old shop in Utah, we were in like a little business park, and one of the businesses, like 3 stores down from me in the same parking lot, was a card shop that's been around since before I was born. I was born in 83. It's been around since like 81. And he was an old guy, didn't want to do eBay, didn't check his inventory after it got hot. He was a guy that would get stuff, leave it in his case, and then like say it was like a Joshua Primo rookie number to 5. Like if he had sold that at the right time, he would have made money, but he'd leave it in his case. To a lot of those cards just lost all their value because most prospects don't pan out. But anyway, I was going through his quarter grab bags. I was buying a lot of them because in 2020, anything Prism, right? Basketball, 2012 was good enough for a quarter, just a base almost. And I was seeing those, so I was picking them out. I was pretty much buying all his quarter ones. And one of them, Giannis rookie, prestige, not a high-end one, not in perfect condition, had some chips, sold it for $70 in I think 24 hours, that night or the next morning, in a 25-cent grab bag. My biggest score was same year, 2020. A lot of this stuff happened. I went to a garage sale, in a swap meet. This guy had some of his personal collection soccer cards, had a bunch of 16, 14 Prism when it was super hot. I bought it in July of 2020. It had Cristiano Ronaldo's. I think it had some Messi. It had other stuff. I went home, looked it up. It was a good buy for $12. I mean, I think the Ronaldo's were like 10, 15, $20 at that time. I don't know what happened in August 2020, but the soccer card market just went bananas. Absolutely insane. And I had sold a Luka Modric card that I had listed for like $10, and it sold like right away. And I think I had a copy or two, and they just like sold like that. And the minute you see something sell a couple times, or you get like 5 offers for a card at once, go see what's happening with that player and probably take your card down and reprice it up. But what I realized was, oh, something's happening. I looked up those Cristiano Ronaldo's again. I had 4 of them, and I sold the 4 of them. And I paid pennies a piece because it was $12 for like 500 cards. So I paid like pennies. I sold the 4 of them for $940, $50 raw. I think they even had scratches, and I said that. And then I sold a bunch of other cards for like in the hundreds. It was insane. So that was a great come up. Back in the day at that same swap meet, I was picking up LeBron rookies, not the high end stuff, but the bazookas for like $2 or $3 or $4, and I was selling them for $20, $25 before they got super hot. If I'm missing some of this stuff, I apologize, guys. I'll do my best. I'd like to buy a full 5,000 count 25-cent box with no more than 75 and take my chance. I love that, Dave. I went to a guy, and the Boise guys I was talking about it, Hot Duke, if you're still here, they had this dollar box, and I'm like, how much for just like a 3-row, 1,500 cards or something? And then I got it for like $500. But at the time, it was nothing but good rookies and a lot of great 90s inserts of like, Deion Sanders, stuff that I could get $1 to $5 a piece on all day. And I bought several of those, and I'm still working through them. They're really good. There's a lot of the stuff when I'm doing my Whatnot auction and I'm adding cards, a lot of it's from those collections I bought out. But I just have years of buying and not being able to move it quickly because I didn't have Card Dealer Pro and Whatnot really working. So I have a backlog of stuff. I'm probably still 6 months to a year before I really have to start buying major collections to keep up. Reselling yard sale stuff, et cetera, and selling cards is fun, but it's hard to live off. Yeah, no, it's true. You're right. And full disclosure, I mean, half of what I make some months, sometimes more than half, is from doing content. But I'll tell you this about content, guys. If you take it serious, it's a legitimate part of this business. It really is. If you take it serious, I got this channel monetized in 6 weeks. I didn't talk about it. If you guys watch my other channel, I don't think I mentioned it much. Definitely didn't mention it at first. It was just I'd learned a little bit about how to edit and make videos. My videos aren't amazing. You guys know that. But they, for whatever reason, work, right? To a certain extent. So, if you guys want to do that, it's a great way to make some extra money. I always like to think I can go to a card shop and spend $30 and I'll make my $30 back on the video if it does decent. And sometimes I'll make a lot more and sometimes I'll make less. It's all over the place. But so that helps. That really does help. If you come across some Bill Buckner, I'd get some of his cards for sure. 200 listings a day can't be easy, LOL. With the Card Dealer Pro, if I'm focused and I'm focusing on the right kind of cards that go well, I could do 200 cards in under an hour. But realistically, the way I do it, and I'm slow, it takes 4 hours probably. And that's really slow. Or more even, possibly. Yeah, I was on Huddle Cards, yeah. Yeah, those guys are nice. You and Commonwealth Picker and the Cincinnati Picker are probably the 3 best picker and flippers. That should be the name of all your all's podcast. Yeah. John's cool. John's a super nice dude. We are actually going to the reseller rally in Cincinnati. So I get to meet John in person for the first time. Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, is in the podcast that I'm in, Trash to Cash. Go check it out, guys. It's where we talk about reselling garbage. Bo called you a genius. I agree. Oh, thanks, man. I'm not a genius, but like I've definitely taken content creation really seriously. And I think I've gotten a certain degree of knowledge from that. And with the bargain boxes, that's my specialty, but you put me in a room with some of these slab flippers, I'm not going to be able to compete. Cause like, I don't know if they can compete sometimes. Cause like, I mean, the market just goes up and down. You're taking L's as much as you're taking W's sometimes in that game. And I feel like bargain boxes allows you to mitigate your risk more. Like if I take an L, like on that Eric Molds, I broke even or I lost 50 cents. No biggie. But if you take an L in slabs, you might lose hundreds or thousands of dollars. And I don't know about you guys. I can't afford to lose thousands of dollars. So I'm playing a different ball game. Considering it was 2020, it was just a flavor of the week. Yeah. And a lot of people thought I was kind of like on the bandwagon with cards, like I was a pandemic seller. They didn't realize I've been selling cards on eBay since 2008 and sports cards. I couldn't go off my cul-de-sac. I grew up in Southern California when I was a kid. I didn't realize I was a reseller when I was a little kid at all, but I was. I hadn't gotten this team signed Los Angeles Angels ball, right? It was signed by everybody. It was like guys that weren't even that great. Tim Salmon. That wasn't the best years in the early 90s. I couldn't go off the cul-de-sac. I wasn't allowed to. We had a card shop. I couldn't get there. My dad was working. So I sent my buddy who was like 2 or 3 years older than me on his bike. I'm like, dude, go sell this card. Go sell this ball. I don't even know if I offered him money. I think I might not have even offered him money. He was just my best friend, so he would do it. And I'm sure I would have given him money. So I'm like, go get some money for this. Let's make some money. He went and came back, 2 hours later. He's like, it's fake. I'm like, man, we were going to get rich, dude. So I've always been like that. Do you ever sell vintage cards pre-1980? A little bit, yeah. I mean, in the Whatnot auction I did the other day, I had some like 70s football. I went cross country, like I said earlier, last summer. And, I met with a lot of people who are resellers that watch the channel and stuff. And I met with my buddy, Death Pile Picker, Mike in Atlanta, and his dad had a bunch of old stuff. So I got like an Orlando Cepeda 1958 Topps rookie, and made some money. Definitely gave me a nice deal for sure. A deal better than he should have. And I made some good money on that stuff. Yeah, sports card chat. I love talking sports card, guys. So feed me questions, not even questions, just topics. I don't care. Or give me your opinion and we'll riff off of it. Hopefully I'll get better, like figuring out like when we can have some people on and we can talk together. It's always a little easier with somebody else in here to riff off of. I've been using Chronozio. I think it's Chronozio for listing cards, but I canceled my subscription this year. Going to try Card Dealer Pro and see how it goes. I've been doing sports cards since the mid 1980s. So I'm going to give you guys the full disclosure. I work with Collects. I work with Card Dealer Pro because I wanted to. Does that make sense? Like I loved Card Dealer Pro. So I'm like, dude, they wanted me to do some TikToks. I'm like, don't pay me for that. They hooked me up with the printer. They gave me it. It was theirs. And I pretty much like have like unlimited listings. So they aren't technically, they gave me some stuff. So that is technically payment. So I work for them. So take that with a grain of salt when I say this. I have not tried Chronozio, so I don't know if it's better or worse. I do like Card Dealer Pro a lot. So I would encourage you guys to try both. I mean, I don't have an affiliate link where I'm like making any money beyond what they're helping me out with right now. I can tell you, I really love those dudes. They're great guys at Card Dealer Pro, and they will answer questions. You can also get a hold of me, and I can get a hold of them directly if there's ever an issue as well. But yeah, try Chronozio too. honestly, and see which one works better for you. Because ultimately, the goal is this: that you can post more cards faster. And if you do that with templates on eBay and don't use either, cool. Or if you just love doing it on your phone, like I did for years, whatever works. The key is we just get our cards listed so we can make money. That's it. Through the mail, I've done it before. I was a big autograph hound back in the day, man. A big. I'll tell you a cool story. Back in the day, my Utah Jazz were getting beat by the Chicago Bulls, the evil, evil, evil Chicago Bulls. And I went up to Park City because the Bulls were playing in Park. They were staying in Park City during the 1998 finals. I went up there, somehow figured out what hotel they were in, to be a autographed hound. I didn't sell them, but I always felt like they had value. So, I mean, that was part of it. I wasn't selling them, but I thought they had value. Of course, Michael Jordan wouldn't leave his hotel room. Don't blame him. Scottie Pippen wouldn't either. Dennis Rodman, of course, was doing exactly what you'd expect Dennis Rodman to be doing. He was playing pool with Eddie Vedder in a bar that was open window so you could see inside. So everybody was watching Dennis Rodman just being Dennis Rodman, having a great time. That was cool. Couldn't go in, especially me. I was like 13. Couldn't go into a bar. I found out through the grapevine that Steve Kerr was eating food with his family in a restaurant like half a block away. I went in like a savage, just walked in and interrupted his dinner. I was it 98? So I was 14, I think. Interrupted his dinner, and to his credit, and I'll always love Steve Kerr for this, because I wouldn't, looking back, be upset as an adult if he just told me to go away, in a nice way, but no kid, I'm eating with my family, which is what he should have done. He didn't. I interrupted his family dinner and he signed my card. Super nice guy. Very thankful he did that. That was a cool thing of him to do. I was a child. It was for me. It was in a binder. I don't know what I did with it. So yeah, I don't do through the mail, but I love, I'm not into hunting for autographs anymore. I don't really care. But as a kid, I loved it. Oh, wait, you're a baby in the eBay game. I was selling around Y2K turn, waiting for money orders. Cat. Yeah. Yeah. I am a baby in the eBay game. I definitely don't remember money orders or anything like that. When you do, seems to me that I have a better average across the board, the way you sell cards. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't catch that whole thing right there. When you're picking bargain boxes, what is the minimum profit per card you want to make? Russell, I will tell you this straight up, guys. If I find a card and I like it and I just want to buy it, and I've done this on other stuff in my life, and this is not advisable, and it's $1, and I'm not even sure if I can make more than $1, but I just freaking love the card, I'm going to buy it and flip it. And maybe I'll ask more than what the low is on eBay and hope I get more. So I think that's the collector in me. So I do not have set rules. I don't have set rules. I just don't. Usually, if I love it, usually I'd like to triple my money, but I don't have set in stone rules. I'm like a jazz musician. I just kind of go with what I'm feeling. Some days I might, because there's always a part of me going if this doesn't sell, I don't care. I'll keep it. Does that make sense? And with the low end stuff, I can afford to do that because I'm buying hopefully a bunch of cards, and a couple, if they don't sell or if I keep, I'm still going to make profit. So I can't do that much, but I can do that with a few cards here and there. I would suggest, if you're buying dollar cards, try to get $5 or more. That would be my business suggestion. 5 or more after fees even. But I don't do that. So you'll have to see depends on how, and it's hard to do, honestly. Who's a good NBA rookie that can boom next year? So big and heavy. This is my channel, man. And kind of like my mantra of my channel, I'm not a speculator. You're not going to get advice from me on who to invest in. I don't believe in sports cards as an investment per se, if that makes sense. It is in a way, and there's people who are more knowledgeable on that, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who's going to be big next year. You know what I mean? They could act like they do, and they may have more knowledge on me on who may be. They might have a better educated guess. But I don't want to speculate on that. But what I will say is you can go to bargain boxes and find rookies from the last couple years who have started to play really well that are still stuck in bargain boxes that have not been updated by the owner of the boxes has not gone through them. So here's Lonnie Walker is a good example, right? Lonnie Walker had 14 points in the fourth quarter yesterday or the night before. Go to a bargain box. You may very well find some silver Lonnie Walkers for a couple bucks, prisms. You might find an autograph for under $5. You go put that on eBay now, right now, and sell it. You wait a week, it might not be worth anything. So I'm all about those moments. You know what I'm saying? But there, I like a lot of players, and I will say this: if I find a player I really like occasionally, and I get them cheap enough, I might buy him and set him aside. But it's going to be super low end, and I've been burned mostly when I do that. To be honest with you, there's a lot of people sitting on Ben Grieve, one of my favorites from back in the day. Ben Greaves, remember him? Oakland A's, didn't pan out, and he was supposed to be a big deal. And there's a lot of that. I feel like a lot of times when you speculate, you do hit, but you also lose, and it kind of averages out. How many sports cards, baseball, football, basketball, and hockey do you think exist in the world? That's a great question. What do you guys think? Billions? Billions. I don't know how many. That's a good question, though. Didn't you get a Joe Montana rookie on your cross-country trip? Yep, I did. That was cool. Yeah, that was from somebody met us, Trash to Cash podcast, if you guys don't follow us there. We have a podcast. We had a meetup in Kentucky, or no, sorry, not Kentucky. Where was I, guys? Tennessee, Crossville, Tennessee. There's a big 127 yard sale, and we met there. And somebody brought me like their collection, and it was a lot of like early 80s, but they did not pick through it. I got a Joe Montana rookie out of that. Sold it for about $100. So yeah, that was, I think, the best card in a bunch, but probably $500 plus, and a lot of bulk that I still have. Super nice of them. How much is one of the scanners you use? So Justin, the scanner, I think retails at like 9 something. I can get it. If you guys really want one, I can get probably either one of them a little bit off, and I make a commission. I actually can work with Fujitsu a little bit, where I make a little commission and you would get it a little cheaper. But I would try Card Dealer Pro and see if it's worth it for you before you even worry about it. But if you really do want to spend the money to get one, talk to me first. I should be able to get it to you cheaper than what you would get it through the website. But they always have specials too, so you might even be able to find it for cheaper than I can get it. But yeah, no. Part of like when you're doing content and stuff is kind of like getting your name out there. So I've talked to Don Caruso at Fujitsu. So I kind of have a deal with them. So I can save you guys a little bit of money, and I make a little bit on the top of that, like a little bit of the difference, not a ton. Word is Will Greer has entered this year's NBA draft. Yes. And there's just, there's a lot of speculation out there, and nobody knows. And, at that moment, it might have been a very good educated guess, but ultimately we don't know. Nobody knows, and we try our best. I saw, and he said Jeff seems like a really nice dude, to be all honest. He was at the Collecticon. I didn't go talk to him. The Collects guys did. I went to the airport in the morning, and he was there with his family. I didn't want to interrupt him, so no issue with people. I try to be positive and happy, and it's not my, but I do have opinions about it. But I don't really. Ultimately, I believe most people have the best of intentions. That's typically how I like to think of things. For real, you are a younger version of me. I hear you talk, and that's awesome. Had the same. I mean, you're the bargain boxer. We probably have pretty much the same frame of mind when it comes to bargain boxing, my friend. That's awesome. Just sold a Lonnie Walker rookie of $199 last night. Exactly, man. I love that. Like the NBA playoffs are fun. They're very dynamic, and in my opinion, this is an opinion. I don't know, like a lot of these lower end guys, if they have a big game, you might be able to flip their cards at a profit, especially if you go find them cheap the next day at a bargain box or a dollar box somewhere, and then you get them at a price where there's like, you already see that it's selling for 10 and you get it for $1, then you just can't lose and you make your money when you buy stuff, guys. Like if you buy a card for $1, like for example, that Lane Johnson, I paid $3 for that sold today for 20. I had it at 30. I was able to give somebody a deal, right, in their mind, and it was a deal because I was the lowest one on eBay at $30. They got a deal. They got it for 20. I paid $3. Theoretically, I could have sold it for 10. Would that have been the best move? Probably not. But would it have been profitable? Technically, right? So if I had paid 10 or 15 or $20 for that, I wouldn't have had that wiggle room. I would have been like, I got to stay firm. Like 25 is my low, and I'm barely making money at that. I made my money on the buy. The money was already made. It was just, do I want 10? Do I want 15? Do I want 20? Do I want $25 profit? And for me, I'm moving my stuff. I'm not holding it. I don't hold, I sell. I'm a seller. And, that's just my thoughts. For real, sorry, guys, I'm trying to get caught up. A lot of people sitting on trash after jumping all over Max McClung. And Max McClung was definitely, for me, was like a bargain bin play right after that. And I found one like a month later, and it was too late. I mean, I think I still have it, but I didn't pay much. I paid like $1 or $2. So eventually I might make $1. I might have actually sold it for like $1 or $2 profit. I watched way too many American arbitrage videos. I'm sorry about that. What a massive waste of your time. I'm just kidding, joking, bro. Thank you for the support, guys. I really do appreciate it. Recently found this is kind of fun to it's kind of fun to go live on this account, and talk cards, which is probably, in all honesty, my real passion. So I don't think people love me talking cards on my main channel. They'll put up with a little bit of it. Recently found some Jalen Brunson stuff in dollar boxes. Another great guy to look for in dollar boxes. Still going to be in dollar boxes a year after his kind of coming out party, right? Great example of guy to look for in bargain boxes. That I found an autograph of his for like under $5, I think, in a Burbank, or I forgot where I was. Definitely was a good buy. Dawn seems to have the touch in finding gems and picking. Maybe have her help you with her touch. It's money. Dawn's really good. Dawn's a picker. She has as you do this more and more, guys, you start to develop a sixth sense, and you don't even understand what it is. You just feel it, right? I've got this with several things. I think cards are my gift if I'm lucky enough. That sounds terribly arrogant. What I mean is that's like probably my best is cards. Whether it's a gift or not is questionable, but it's like probably what I'm best at. But like I could pick up a plush at this point and probably tell you within reason what it's worth based on what it looks like, the feel of it, the tag. I know Knickerbocker is a great brand. If it's a Godzilla Knickerbocker from 1978, that's money. There's stuff that you learn over time. Is Card Dealer Pro all through spreadsheets? Does it not link to your eBay account? Does it make it cumbersome to update listings? It's a good question. I'm not like a super pro on back end stuff, but what it does is I use Mac. It's actually a little bit better on what's the other one? Microsoft and Asus, whatever that is. Sorry, guys. I'm not like a computer guy. But basically, I use the app. I upload stuff to the Card Dealer Pro. It is connected to my Card Dealer Pro account from the app. So I upload, I send it all over to the website, right? And I go on my website once it all updates. And when I'm doing super modern stuff, like this is stuff I went through today, which isn't a lot, like about 40 cards, but I'm doing some technical new stuff, which is a little trickier for Card Dealer Pro. I go and check. I have to update a lot. Like this one didn't come up as an aqua refractor, for example. I had to type that in, which is fairly simple, a lot easier than eBay. Then once I get everything the way I want it, priced the way I want, it does a CSV file. That's the technical term. And then I can go upload the CSV file onto eBay, and it uploads it all at once. So it doesn't connect to my eBay, but it does print out. It does make a Excel CSV type file that I can upload on eBay. So like, here's the thing, like you get 84 Donruss baseball, put 100 cards in, it's probably going to go 100 for 100, especially if you're using a scanner. It's going to get almost all of them correct. You do still want to check because occasionally it'll think, Dennis Eckersley is oil can boy. It'll mix up some players occasionally, but overall it saves a lot of time. Not perfect. It's an application. It glitches. It has some glitch issues occasionally, but all stuff that's fairly understandable that will also improve over time. I definitely recommend trying it and then see if it works for you. That's all. As an LCS owner, I've noticed my sales are going up the last 2 months like crazy. Are you having the same success? My sales have gone up because I've been listing more. So yes, but here's the thing with me. It's always been this. My sales have always gone up when I've listed more stuff or when I put more stuff out for sale. As far like, so you would notice it more as a card shop because you have like a baseline of stuff out on the floor at all times, and then you can kind of notice the ebb and flows better than I can. So I've had it go up, but it's because I've put more work in. CDP does not link and post to eBay. There you go. Yeah, it's not cool to sell stuff way too low for $10 in that situation because it screws up the market. Taking 20 is one thing, but 10 is messing up the market too much. I disagree. Do you know what is it? Burbank Sports Cards. So I went there, took the tour, talked to the card father, super nice guy. His average sales price is $4. I think that's shipped. It might be plus shipping. I'm not sure. There are two distinct markets. There is the market of people selling higher end cards, right? For me, a high end card's like 10 or 20 bucks, but there's people selling, $20 cards to 50. There's people selling slabs for thousands of dollars, but there is a bunch of cards out there that people would buy if it was priced right and you could get it to them. Like this is a, Wander Franco right here, Bowman. That might be $1.50, $2 shipped card. People will pay that. but they're not, you know, and if you're in person and you see the person, they'll hand you $2 bills, right? But with eBay standard envelope, we can now move that stuff online, which really wasn't possible until a couple years ago before standard envelope. I don't think it's messing up the market. I think it's part of the market and always has been. Cards, in my opinion, once again, an opinion, are going to continue to go down. That's my opinion. I feel like the market is a lot of, it's a lot of speculation out there. A lot of people have, like I think we were talking about with the dollar box, like 7 championships baked into their prices already. I was talking about how I don't want to speculate. So let's just not get into that too much. But like, I think a lot of people are going to go down. I could be wrong. I'm definitely not telling you to invest in anything. What I'm saying is look for good deals and go look on eBay for sold comps. And if you see that the card you're buying is less than what it's selling for on eBay, that's a buy, right? Because you can go put it on eBay and hopefully make money. That's what I'm saying. I find a lot of my cards at antique malls, like 50% of all my cards I have found through antique malls. That's a great place because, antique mall people are not necessarily card people. So they could have some really good cards in there at really good prices. They're not keeping track of the daily, weekly movements of cards like a card shop or a card show would. So it's a good place to source for sure. Dawn is from Bloomington. Yeah. She's originally, I think it is Bloomington. Yeah. She moved when she was little though. So she doesn't remember a ton about, Illinois. I still think see if you notice, if you're from that area, I still think she has an accent, like a Midwestern accent that she never got rid of. It's definitely not a Utah accent. And like, I feel like I have a California accent a little bit because that's where I was, first 10 years of my life. Are you guys going to get a hold of the football, get and hold for football season, or you just buy and sell? Just buy and sell. I get football now and I sell now. I don't buy. That's not my play. But, yeah, as far like I would just do the research that you want to do and then determine how you want to play the game. For me, I'm a seller. I'm 100% a seller. That's what I do. I get a card at a good price, I'm selling it. Occasionally, if it's cheap enough, I may hold on to it, but I'm not going to really say who. Any guys you're going to Gamble just posted a new video at Darkside. Yeah, cool. I'm glad he went to Darkside. Darkside's dope. First off, Gamble is putting out a video every day. Those guys are freaking amazing. Now, if you don't know Justin Gamble on YouTube, please go follow them. They have an amazing channel. But Justin is Justin Escalona, who has a very big YouTube following for his kind of like his college videos that he did a couple years ago. He was a film major, I think, at USC. So he knows how to edit. He's had YouTube success. Super good dudes, both of them. Definitely recommend their videos. They're definitely different than me. I'm the old guy in dollar boxes, and they're the young guys, that can swear. I can swear, but you know what I mean? Like they have a good time. They're partying, they're eating sushi, they're doing things. Hoping I can collab with them. I think if I approached them, they might do it, but let it happen naturally. You know what I mean? We'll let it happen naturally. I might just pop up in a Justin Gamble video at some point randomly. That's the hope. It's amazing watching Dawn go to work. She's crazy in the zone with the plushes. It's fun to see her do it. I've learned a lot from her. Yeah, she is. Dawn is a picker. I'm like that with cards. I will say I'm like that with cards to an nth degree. I was actually more intense than Bo was the other day. Bo left and I spent another couple hours there, an hour and a half, but he went another 5 hours the next day. But when it comes to like plushes, Dawn will, put stuff on the floor and then put it back when she's done. If she's going through a bin, she will dig. She's a digger. Love the fact that you stay out of specs. Yeah, I don't think it's good for anybody. I don't think it helps anybody because nobody knows. And I've gotten burnt. I'm sure most of you have gotten burnt. I'll probably be burnt again, but I don't play in the high end speculation yet, especially high end, because people, get credit card bills and they got to pay them back. If you have enough bulk, would you consider setting up at a show? Yes, Glenn. I'm actually wanting to do that. There's a front row card show here in Vegas. I'm already on the wait list, and I should hopefully get in there soon. I want to go for connections. This is my dream card show. 10-cent quarter boxes, maybe 50-cent boxes. I want to be the ultimate bargain bin. I want somebody who comes to a show, hopefully knows me from YouTube or TikTok or whatever, to get exactly what they would expect from Carrie, which is bargains, right? So it's got to be that. And you gotta, in the business salt them, meaning like I would guarantee there would be good cards in there that are worth more than that. You just got to find them. You got to go dig. That's the fun of it. I feel like a good bargain bin is going to have those treats for the real ones, right? That are digging, right? So I would do that, and then it would mostly be for connections. Like I wouldn't expect to make a ton of money, if that makes sense. I probably wouldn't want to sell the whole box, and maybe at the end I would, but I'd want people to come through and just be like, dang, man, I just got like a stack of Don Mattingly cards for 10 cents each, and of course I could make a little more on eBay, but that would be the dream. I'd want to be the ultimate bargain bin guy. Giving people deals, hopefully with excess buys I have, so I'm still profitable, obviously. Or it could just be a marketing cost. You know what I mean? Like it's a write-off. But that would be what I'd do. And then the connections. And hopefully people coming to me saying, I got boxes I'd like to sell you, and then I'd buy them. That would be the real play. The difference between Chronosio and CDP is that Chronosio links to eBay, so all changes have to be done in Chronosio with only runs on one computer. CDP simply helps make bulk listings to CSV. There you go. That's the technical answer. Yeah. I don't really know, other than I would always suggest, do your due diligence, try them both out. I have a relationship with CDP. I've never tried Chronosio. Full disclosure. Definitely try both. I could help you with CDP. I just don't know the people at Chronosio. I just bought an Ohtani Mini A&G rookie for $2. The card shop said it was worth $50. I looked when I got home, and the last one sold for 101. 2 into 101. That's what it's all about, man. That's a TikTok right there. I'm a TikToker, man. I'm that dude. I went to that the bargain bins the other day, and I probably have 10 videos in the rotation for me to post. Not all of them do well, but usually people like that. And I love those $2 into 101 finds. But I mean, there's a lot to be learned from those $2 into $10 fines, because those are ones you can find all the time. $2 into $6 fines. If you do that enough, you'll make money. So I love it. How's it going? Love watching your TikTok. Also, awesome Eclipse. I love hearing that. Thank you so much. Any tips on eBay feedback? I made my account and not sure how to get a bunch of feedback. One hack a lot of people do is they buy a lot of low-end stuff on eBay, and then they get feedback from sellers to build the feedback. I will tell you this, feedback is overrated on eBay. It's a little bit important when you first start, but then after a month or two, it's pretty much irrelevant, as long as you're not terrible at reselling, meaning like as long as you're not getting like a negative for every positive, which most people, it doesn't happen unless you just aren't trying at all. So at this point, like I don't even check. It's an antiquated system that I don't feel like a lot of people check. If they notice it, they will only care if it's terrible, if that makes sense. It doesn't really if you have an occasional negative, a lot of people go, oh, I got a negative. I'm like, just you're fine. Wait a year, it'll go away and you'll forget about it tomorrow. You know what I mean? So to build it up, buy a couple things, sell some low end cards is a great way to build it up. You want to get a 100 feedback real quick. Go get some Anthony Volpe cards. The Bowman ones, sell them for $1 a piece, a little bit under what they're going for on eBay, sell 100 of them in a couple days and then ship them out perfectly. Put a little card in there saying, please send me a feedback. I'd appreciate it. And if you had a bad experience, let me know, so they don't give you a negative. You don't want a negative. And then get yourself some feedbacks real quick. Getting cards and bargain boxes is awesome. Got to be early bird. Found some Halliburtons for $1 each. Got 5 of them, and they sell for 10 each. That's what I'm talking about, Quinn. Well done. Nicely done. So deep down, you want to be the next Bo. A little bit. I'm doing a live, aren't I? I'm the late night Bo. Bo's a nice dude. He's a really good dude. I'll tell you this, and I talked to him about this. I'm like, dude, we went back to the Collects app, setup they had there, which was funny because it was like all Pokemon stuff, which Collects is getting Pokemon soon, which will be awesome. But there wasn't a lot of sports card people, so it kind of felt out of place. We were sitting there, and then Bo was going through his box, and that was like, I felt like I was in Harvard, sports card Harvard. He's going through, he's like, this one because the name's funny. This one because apparently this guy, I don't even know who he is. Something, what was his name? Trevor Wood? Somebody. I still don't know why that was a popular card. Maybe I zoned out at that moment, but he even talked about it in his recent live, and I still don't know why. Trevor Wood, some dude like that. Apparently, I still don't know why that's a good card, but if I ever see that dude, I'm buying it. I'm like, dude, you just need to put your camera up your phone up and just film yourself going through that. Put a 15-minute non-live, or do it in the live too, but maybe do a 15-minute video that's not live and just tag it. Go in my $1 box finds at a, or $3 box finds at a, at the card show or whatever, and put a little diamond in the thumbnail like I do. I'll help you with that even. And then I didn't say that, but I would help them. And then post it. I would love that. I would watch like 2 hours of him going through that without a question. 80s baseball best way to move team sets. That's a good question. I talked to Bo a little bit about this. A lot of people who build up their stuff quickly on like CDP or Chronazio, they're putting up a lot of bulk 80s, and that's really not the way to go. When I'm buying 80s, I'm sticking to Cal Ripken, Jose Canseco, stuff like big time players. And I guess the rest, team sets, if you had to, like the rest would be like, I don't even know, sell in bulk, donate, give it to a children's hospital. I don't know. But for the most part, I would just pick out the best cards, and or sell it as a set if you have a complete set. But 80s are tough. I'd stick to the top 20 players and then maybe an occasional cool looking card. Anything 84 Donruss, I'd put commons up for 84 Donruss, But if it's, 87 tops, unless it's Nolan Ryan or Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, there's like, 20 cards and everything else. It's Kindle for a fire, right? What are the odds of you going to a big show like Dallas? Also use connections at your LCS. People try to get their collections to them, but most shops pass. Could be a good opportunity for you. Yeah, Legacy has been, I don't know if they're doing box breaks, but they've been getting a lot of these 5,000 count like single boxes of modern stuff, but they'll have no real inserts, but they'll have like 40 copies of Steph Curry from the new set or whatever. I got one for like $30. That was a good deal. Like, I don't know how many, 3,000, 5,000 cards. It's pretty dope. But that's a good idea. I would like to go to Dallas again. The next Dallas show is like in 2 weeks, so I can't swing that. Maybe but they do one 6 a year, so maybe the one after. I'd love to go to the National. That's just, to go to the National, it's the hotels are what, 300, 400, 500 if I'm lucky. The plane flights are going to be a little bit more than usual. I don't care if I take Spirit or Frontier or whatever, but it's probably going to be more like 300 or 400 instead of the $100 it costs to do Spirit to Dallas. And then I also need money to buy cards. So that's going to be a hard one this year. I might have to wait till next year for National, but Dallas, I'm hoping, because it's not super expensive to go there from where I live, maybe in 2 months. That'd be dope. Be cool to have Dawn go. She'd be bored. We'd have to go do some Dallas stuff, I guess. I don't know what to do in Dallas. If in doubt, check to see if it recently sold, I suppose. Yeah. Always. Yeah. When in doubt, check to see if there's recent solds. Yeah. I appreciate you guys all being here in the live. This has been a lot of fun. We had like almost 50 people in here for a little bit. That was cool. I'm glad to see that people like to talk low-end sports cards. I'm not the only one. I think there's a demand for what we're doing with the low-end sports cards. Everybody feels like I feel like people feel like they have to have like a $15,000 card in their video. I think a good video is a good video. I don't think it could be a $10 card if you just are passionate about it and you can tell the story or show the angle that's interesting in that. It doesn't necessarily have to be all bangers. So I'm thinking about starting a podcast with Dawn between us. There's 31 of us here and a few people who will see it after. I want to call the podcast No Bangers, because they always make jokes about bangers, when you're opening stuff. Call it No Bangers. It's going to be me and Dawn. Dawn doesn't know much about sports cards. And then it'd be fun, like me trying to be a nerd about sports card and her calling Shohei Ohtani Showy Tony or whatever she calls him. It would be I think it could be fun. LOL, if another pandemic hits, you could be a millionaire. You never know. I mean, that's another thing. I'm not doing this to be a millionaire. I just want to be comfortable doing what I love. Because if I wanted to be better off, I guess I could do other stuff. I have degrees. I could go get maybe not. It's been 10 years. Maybe I couldn't get a great professional job, but I'm just doing what I love. And if I can make enough to survive and be comfortable enough doing what I love, it's a win. That's $1 million, cool, but that's not really the goal. If you go down to Dallas, I can bring you up to Oklahoma and show you my amazing LCS. Yeah, dude, Glenn, that'd be awesome. And the bins for Dawn. See, that's the thing. If I can go to a place that has a bins too, so I can get some videos for American Arbitrage, Dawn can do some TikToks and find some deals. Wherever I go with Dawn, we've got to pick regular, or else Dawn's not going to be interested. Dawn, if you guys don't know, is my girlfriend. basically my wife. We've been together forever. Dope name. Collecticon comes to Kansas City. Kansas City. Is that where it's going to be at? That's awesome. Love the value boxes. Don't even look at showcases anymore because I know everything there is priced at comps. I just don't play that game. I don't understand why people, I just don't get it. I don't get buying something at comps for sure. But like unless you're like at 650 or 60% of comps, I don't really get it. Because like if you're buying something at 70 or 80, like even I know a lot of people will buy something at 70, 75 and sell it for 80 or 85, but why? Why spend $1,000, right? For a card worth $1,100, so you could sell it for $1,100 to make $100. I feel like with $1,000, you could do a lot more. You go buy out 3 bargain boxes, right? Go do whatnot auctions, sell more than half those cards, make your $1,000 back, and then have 500 cards put on eBay for $3,000 profit. That seems it's more work, but with like Card Dealer Pro, with a Fujitsu scanner, maybe with a team of people working, you can make that work. Seems like a better business model. I could be wrong, but at least it's a lot more work. I get it, but I love it. Podcast sounds awesome. Thank you. Just started using Card Dealer Pro a week or two ago. Holy cow, my sales shot up. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Once again, yeah, I work with them, so I'm trying not to be a shill for them. I do like the product a lot. Carnazio does a similar thing as well, though. You can try that out as well. Hey, Carrie, selling big boy cards actually makes me nervous. Low end all day. Same with me, Jason. Same with me, man. I don't know if that'll ever change. My goal long term is to play a little bit, and this will sound dumb, I know. Playing the $5 to $20 cards a little bit more than I do, because I literally do low end. I should really be in the $10 to $50 range, $20 to $50 range. I could see myself, and maybe you'll see as the channel evolves, getting into that $20 to $50 range. That would be cool. And then obviously I'm going to find in dollar boxes, 100, I don't know, maybe $1,000 card occasionally. That would be an awesome video. But I don't see myself spending $800 to make $1,000. I won't do that in my regular work, which is picking. I'm not going to spend $800 on an old time cash register to sell it for $950. I'll spend $800 and get myself a freaking room full of stuff from an estate sale buyout guy, which I've done before, and then have 50 items to sell, put half of them in a local auction and the rest I sell locally and make 5, there's so many other ways. I feel like money could be used better the way I like to do it, at least. Hey, Glenn, I'm in Amarillo. Sorry, I said that wrong. I need to make a trip to OKC card shops. Do you know Kevin Strunk? You guys talk amongst yourselves. LOL, true. Keep listing. We know the next pandemic is around the corner. Kidding. You're funny. I love the videos. Glad I caught you. The dollar boxes in Canada represent insane value. Managed to turn $200 in fines into a K. It wasn't easy money, but it was worth it for sure. Are you doing like a lot of hockey, I would imagine, up there? Or what are the plays? Like, are people undervaluing, like basketball there? Or is it mostly hockey plays? I'd love to get, and one cool thing like with Card Dealer Pro is they have hockey, which like if I found a lot of hockey, I would definitely look into it now where I wouldn't before. And I hope over time they get WWE and other stuff because I would love to get more into that. I love all cards. I've sold this in the last year. I've sold bull riding cards, PBR cards. I love anything that card related. I just love it. Oh, just listening to her butcher names would be worth the time. Yeah, it's fun. We play it up. Dawn's a bit of a ham. She knows it's not Shohei Tony, but she does it. She also doesn't remember it's Shohei Ohtani, to be fair. So I think she plays it up a little. She's never going to remember Shohei Ohtani's name ever. Shohei Tony is a freaking great name. Shohei Tony. I love it. It's gold. She's funny. She's a lot more funny than I give her credit for sometimes. Bangers are $1 to $5 bargain box cards. I agree, man. I agree. I love that stuff because I was buying this stuff before I had a scanner, obviously, which is fairly recent, or before I was doing Card Dealer Pro, because I'm like, I'll get around to posting these someday. Now I'm actually starting to get rid of them, or a lot of them I'm putting through my whatnot auction and stuff, which, is, and that's kind of the goal long term too, is like in the long run, as I grow my channel, I want to have like a big bargain box in front of the screen and then me just pulling stuff out, and then hopefully, the thing with an auction is occasionally somebody's going to overpay for something and occasionally somebody's going to get a $20 card for $2. That's how auctions work. But, as long as I could be profitable on my end and hopefully, but that's my job. My job is to buy stuff so cheap that no matter if I don't make any money in an auction or not, I'm profitable. I found CDP through you. That's awesome, man. I found it through Bo 1 Million Cubs project. So it's like the circle of life. That's awesome. I'm glad it's helping you out. That's great to hear. All my card stores don't have good dollar boxes. They are overpriced, so card shows are the way. I'm lucky here in Vegas. And it's kind of recent because when I got here, Legacy had some and then they got rid of them. And there was like none for a couple months. And then I think Darkside hadn't set theirs up yet. So there was a time where there was no dollar boxes around here. And now it's kind of going well. And to be honest, I feel like I have a teeny bit of influence in that because they know I'm making videos about it. And also I will buy. So it's helping me out a little bit. If you come into Vegas, let me know, guys. We'll go dollar boxing. Any of you just hit me up on Instagram is the best place to actually get a hold of me. We'll go to some dollar boxes. If you're a person who goes to Vegas and instead of gambling wants to spend a couple $100 getting dollar box cards, I'm your guy. Basketball is undervalued. I would agree. I don't know if it's ever going to go up to where it was before, though, if that makes sense. But undervalued is an interesting word. Compared to other sports, sure, but maybe it's priced at what it's really worth. I don't know, because can it really be undervalued if people aren't willing to pay more for it right now, right? It's worth whatever people are willing to pay right now. But I'd say objectively, I think basketball goes for less than a lot of football and a lot of baseball does. And it's odd in a way because I feel like basketball is more popular than baseball, for example, I think. So I don't know. Market's interesting. Level down, don't level up. Those cards lose value. Yeah. That's why, like, you guys know me, my favorite plays are in those dollar boxes are like the Tim Couch autos. I love the stories, like, because in 1999, I was collecting cards. I was freaking 15. I was buying packs. A Tim Couch auto in 1999 would have made my year. I probably didn't have a girlfriend. So, I mean, I was collecting cards or whatever. So, that made my whole year. And now I find it for $3 in a bargain bin. Like, that's one of those ones, like, where I've said, like, I don't have a rule on, like, whether I'll buy stuff, like, profit-wise. If it was going for $5 and I had to pay $3, I'd probably pay it because I'd be like, oh, I buy a card I like and I'll make $1. Okay. But thankfully, those couches look like they're going to be like $12 or so. So I'll triple my money after fees. Not big money, nothing to write home about, but it's fun. Was the ROI of me being at Collecticon going through those boxes worth it? Yes, because I was like at Disneyland and I enjoyed it and it was relaxing and it made me happy. So yes. Was it worth it as far as like how much money I'll make per hour? Probably not. But, I enjoyed it. I've definitely been to boxes where it's like, oh my gosh, this is a gold mine. And I've been to boxes where you have to fight tooth and nail to find anything. And both are equally, I don't know if the tooth and nail ones are fun, but they're rewarding when you find that gem. Completely agree with the mindset. Instead of sitting around hoping a high-end card sells, I'd rather move a few $5 and $10 cards a day. Yeah. And the cool thing is, like, you don't have a lot of money in them. So you're not sitting around saying, man, I just spent $1,000 on this card and I need it to sell because, I got to pay my rent or something. You know what I mean? You could just be like, it'll sell when it sells. I'm not worried about it. Set it and forget it. Move on. Just sold a Joey Votto Spectra card for $15, sitting for over a year. Love eBay. Yeah, just random. Joey Votto probably hit a home run or something today. Completely agree with, go to the PBR finals this weekend in Fort Worth. Dope, man. That's where I was this weekend, Fort Worth. I would have loved to have actually kind of went around Dallas a little bit more in Fort Worth. I was just basically between the hotel and the convention center and Uber. And we stopped at Heritage, which was really cool. If you guys want to see like what Heritage was like behind the scenes a little bit, go check out my regular channel, American Arbitrage. Unfortunately, the part that was the coolest, I didn't probe enough to see if I could film it. They probably would have let me. But they were literally like handing us stuff to look at Heritage. It was like, this is a, Henry VIII, like a whole paper written by Henry VIII. I love history. That was one of my degrees. They had like Abraham Lincoln autograph stuff. They had George Washington autograph stuff. They had a Babe Ruth autograph book, just stuff that was like, like how it was so surreal that it felt fake. But I was at Heritage, so it was real. But it felt fake because I'm like, why am I holding this? This can't be real. I'm usually finding Gregory Soto autographs in a dollar box. I'm not the guy holding a real Babe Ruth autograph. I meant in Canada in response to your earlier question. Okay. I'm a local. Would love to go check out some places sometime. One of these days, I'll hit you up. Yeah, hit me up on Instagram, Chris. Just go and we could schedule a day. I'd love to meet locals who like cards. Always room for more friends. But yeah, we can go dollar box, and probably Dark Side would be my suggestion. I've went through a lot of. He's supposed to be working on some 50-cent boxes. He said. And he has a lot of boxes. I actually need to ask him if I can look through his other boxes that are kind of behind the counter. But the deal at Dark Side is still going on, where it's 50% off the $1 and $2 cards, and it might just keep going on. I hope. And if it doesn't, I'm going to ask him if he'll let me have a password I can use. So if any of you guys go, you can get that deal, or I can get that deal. I'll talk to him because I think they want to move that stuff, the low end stuff. I'll never forget that Tim Couch draft class, 5 QBs in the top 12 picks. McNabb was the only one who lived up to the expectations. Maybe Culpepper. Yeah, Culpepper had that one season where he had 4,000 yards. There was a time in the early 2000s, though. This is cool to think about, where this is why I say a lot of this, the Hurt stuff's overvalued in my opinion, or the Herbert. I don't know if they're overvalued, but think about it. The hottest quarterbacks in 2002, 2003. Sure, Peyton. How's his stuff doing right now? He's a GOAT, but how's his stuff selling right now? Think about it. I don't feel like it's selling that great, right? McNabb, borderline Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer, but borderline maybe, right? Won a Super Bowl, right? Check that. No, he didn't win a Super Bowl, right? He lost to Brady. Went to a Super Bowl. But he was good, right? Pretty good. Better than Jalen Hurts is, for sure, and probably ever will be. Or at least it's Jalen's got to prove stuff for a while. You can't give away. I mean, even at a dollar box, unless it's a autograph McNabb or a refractor Bowman, I'm probably not picking it up. McNabb's another great one. Had some great seasons in 2002, 2003, 2004. You had an autograph Culpepper or one of his good rookies. You're making some money. Can't give that stuff away now. Unless it's an autograph. I will pick those up a lot in the bargain bins if I can find them. And that's kind of how these things are. It's fascinating, the market, but it's getting more normal. The 2000, a lot of people are messed up from 2020 because a lot of people joined the market in 2020 and they don't really know what it's like in a normal market. And it's all fascinating. I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys know that, when it comes to that, I don't want to be the guru guy, but I will sniff out the deals in a box if you have them. Trust me. That's what I do. Baseball is tough. It's either underpriced or overpriced because most collect NFL and NBA. Underpriced MLB cards such as photo variations or SP or mid-range prospects are always in value boxes. Yeah, that's true. But sometimes some of those SPs, you get them for $1, you might be able to flip them. I love baseball because there's so many parallels. I cleaned up at Dark Side, I felt because he was putting stuff number 25 or less in a dollar box, or in the box. They were half off. So they were $2, but now they're $1. I'm picking up most cards numbered 25 or below of the last couple of years, because sometimes they're prospects who may or may not make it still, but they're, still people thinking they could make it. So at $1, I should be able to get 4 or 5, I think. Right. But then there was that Jesus Luzardo that I got. I think I sold it for 20. What did I sell? I think I just sold that. I think they paid, or maybe they didn't pay. Let me check. So I got that Jesus Luzardo for $1, the gold Phoenix, number to 10, gold stuff, right? Super popular. Yeah, it's already been shipped. I sold it. Got it for $1. Sold it. You can't even see it. Sorry, guys. Screen. Sold for 14. I took a deal. See, I also took an offer. I want to move stuff. But once again, I made the money in the buy, right? I paid $1. I could have sold it for $8. Probably shouldn't, but I could, and I'd still make money. Could sell for $5 and technically make money. That would be way too low, but heck, if I had it for 6 months and I was sick of it being around, I could still get rid of it and not lose money. McNabb was an underappreciated quarterback, was one of the top 5 QBs in the league for most of his career. 100% agree with you. Yes, Jason has a great point. Keep in mind that every player is somebody's favorite player. I'm not scared to list parallels or number cards of players who aren't big names. I also love going through the press pass stuff in those boxes, especially if they're quarterbacks from any school. Who's a good one? Jason White. Jason White won the Heisman in like 03, right? For Oklahoma. Got drafted, I believe, by the Titans. I don't even know if he played. But yeah, you find a press pass, especially a numbered press pass of him, pick that up at $1. I mean, I would pick that up for $1, and I would imagine it should be a decent buy. Like that Dan Connor I got. I feel like it was worth more than $3. I paid $3, numbered to 99, Dan Connor, Penn State legend, linebacker, played for the Panthers for a few years. I think I have that up at like 9 to 12, somewhere in that range. Definitely more than 3. Should make me a profit. Because it's a good school. A legend from that school. Dan Connor was a legend at Penn State. Solid pro career. Really doesn't help the card one way or another. It's more about his Penn State connection. Herbert is not a buy. I don't see people drooling over Dan Fouts, so why will people want Herbert in 25 years? I'm just not that dude. I'm not the dude who thinks anything about 25 years from now. Who knows? Like 25 years, you have kids, they'll be adults, right? You might not even have kids yet, and they'll all be adults in 25 years, right? Are they even going to give do 20-year-olds care about Joe Montana? Five championships. Do they pay? I mean, sure, his super one rookie card he has, right? He only has one, remember. Graded high goes well. But outside of that, are they going to care about Tom Brady even? There's a good argument they will, because he'll probably be in media. But still, Shaq was cool as hell. He was in video games. He was in movies. He did rap CDs. He was culturally relevant. He was a dominant player. He's on TV now. You can get deals right now on his rookie cards, right? Tim Duncan. I don't care. I mean, once again, opinion, not gospel. Tim Duncan's never going to go up, guys. Tim Duncan's probably always just going to go down, in my opinion, because, he was a dull player. He was amazing, but he was dull, and he doesn't do anything. Like, he's not out in public. He seems cool, but nobody's going to know that. I mean, like, I don't see his stuff like having a spike, even when he hits the Hall of Fame, which he already did, I think. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what I think. Duncan doesn't sell. Yeah. Duncan theoretically is undervalued and should sell. But if he's not selling now, how's he going to sell in 20 years to our kids? You know what I mean? Bill Russell, I mean, his rookie's selling, but I mean, you could probably go get a 64 base card pretty cheap. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Next time Tim Duncan stuff goes up is the 100th anniversary team. Maybe not at all. Right? Maybe. You could make an argument that it will, but we don't know. Nobody knows. T-Law is climbing fast, but now while you can before the Jags become elite. See, I'm not, once again, not a speculator. Because, think of who's elite right now. I mean, the Bills are pretty elite. I mean, Josh Allen is selling right similar to T-Law right now, right? So maybe the elite team is already baked into his price. Maybe. Once again, I'm talking speculation too much. I don't know. I have no idea. But notice the players with swagger are the ones that are fancy to sell. I mean, like, I'll tell you, like, cards I love of older players I love to find in bargain boxes, and this is not rocket science or any, like, new ground. I've heard this from other people, like Dollar Box and Bo Jackson, iconic. Bo Jackson stuff does really well. You just don't want to overpay for it. Deion Sanders is one of those that just, his story is so cool, and he's relevant. For whatever reason, he has that swagger, right? He has that swagger. So, and he's still having viral moments, like when he became the coach of Colorado, and he was like telling everybody they weren't going to be on the team. That was interesting. So in 20 years from now, Tim's stuff is even more scarce than today. How often do you see him at shows versus ultra modern? Yeah, but who's going to care? That's what I'm saying. Like, who cares though? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares about Tim Duncan? Think about it. Like, speculators that'll up his price and then dump it, and then what? Who's buying it when they dump it? Because they only sold it. I don't know. I could be wrong, and I'm delving too much into this. And let me be clear, I could be totally wrong, because I don't want to make an assumption on whether he will go up or won't. I'm trying to stay away from that, and I just have strong opinions about it. Yeah, there's a possibility 20 years from now, nobody will be watching the NBA like they do now. Who knows? But I just, yeah, I don't, you know, yeah, nobody knows. Even Honus Wagner, who knows? It could be worthless. Probably won't be. That's a dumb comment, but you know what I mean. Nobody knows the future because maybe in 20 years it's the end times, and we're just only worried about corn to trade. I don't know. Bo Jackson's cards were in the junk wax era. His cards are overproduced. They should be in the dime box for how many are out there. But here's the thing, you're right. And they are in the dime box often, but a lot of times I can get $1.50 shipped, $2 shipped, $3 shipped. I sold a 2005 Topps Pristine, no numbered, not numbered, shiny card for $10 at Bo Jackson this week. Here's why I think, when you can get it cheap enough and you go and look and see what the current value is, why his stuff sometimes has value is because people love Bo Jackson. You know what I'm saying? People who are buying Bo Jackson cards now, I'm not buying cards for 10 cents to sell them for $1.50, but sometimes I get them in collections. But sometimes why you can get $5 or $10 for a Bo Jackson card is not because it's going to go up in value. It's because a 40-year-old like me who doesn't collect cards but loved the Bo Jackson cartoon from 1990. Remember that one with Wayne Gretzky and Bo Jackson? They just want a Bo Jackson card, and the one where he's holding the bat looks dope. They're paying $10. They don't care if it's worth anything. They just want it. And that's why I think certain cards like that hold a little bit of value. I picked up a Tim Duncan press pass rookie card yesterday for $1. That was a good deal. I put it in my auction. I don't know if I was profitable on it. But there's just I don't think Tim Duncan, and I could be wrong, has that cachet. If the 16-footer off the glass makes a comeback, Duncan will be reborn. Younger fans of the time. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, something like culturally happens, like with the game or something. Very true. Good point. That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving opinions, but nobody knows. Nobody knows, man. Amazon just paid $10 billion for the NFL on Thursday with a garbage slate of games. Many of the NFL stadiums in development are $1 to $2 billion. NFL is here. I think all the sports are here to stay. I mean, I think we were joking about the NBA, but who knows? Base cards of big names from decent sets sell. Can make a lot of them from lower end sets. Yeah. I'm telling you, you put a Cal Ripken 1988 Topps on eBay for $1.50, it has a chance to sell. It may not sell, and obviously you're not hunting for those cards, but you get 5,000 count boxes and you got Card Dealer Pro and a scanner, you might just throw that in the pile. Why not? To post with your hundreds of cards you're listing a day. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, it's definitely not a card you're hunting for, but if you get it in a collection, you don't have to throw it away. I got to meet Bo Jackson and get my jersey signed recently. See, that's dope. Bo Jackson, I mean, as a 39-year-old man, Bo Jackson was so cool. I don't know if younger people realize, Bo Jackson was Michael Jordan level for a few years, as far as popularity. I always think of that cartoon, the All-Star Sports cartoon from Saturday morning. Do you guys remember that? It was Bo Jackson, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan. Those were the GOATs at that moment, and and I'm talking, if Bo Jackson was doing Bo Jackson things right now, he'd be the most popular. Would you guys agree, or would you guys at least humor me on this? He would be one of the most popular sports cards out there. If Bo Jackson came out right now, was playing football and baseball at the level he played in 1987, his cards would be insane. And that's what we all remember, and that's why his cards will always have some value, even though he got injured, because he was just so insane for a short time. I'm only 18 and I'm old soul though. Watch a lot of the old games. That's awesome, Quinn. I forgot about Pro Stars. Wasn't it Bo and it was Bo, Gretzky, and Jordan, I think, and there might have been another guy I forgot. Is Emmitt Smith rushing record unbreakable with 17 game season in a pass happy league? Nobody. I wouldn't say unbreakable. I didn't think freaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record was breakable, and it was. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets broken someday. But yeah, it's pretty safe. But there's a good one. Think about it. And now Emmitt doesn't have a super rare rookie because he's from the junk wax. But that's another player that you would think theoretically would have more value than I feel like he does. If you're just using the whole invest in the GOATs kind of mind frame. I don't know if that's It's just there's so much nuance. It's not just were they the best? Are they popular? Do people like them? There's so much nuance to it, and then what people like changes over time. So you could, yeah, you know, if they found out that Honus Wagner murdered like 40 people, would his card be valuable anymore? Not saying, you know what I'm saying? Like if something came out historically about somebody from the past, right? Would that totally screw up, you know, their value over time? I don't know. That was a weird tangent I caught on. Bo Jackson was the greatest athlete I ever saw. I'm 46. Nobody of it. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody. I'd agree. Nobody close to Bo Jackson. But LeBron would be probably the closest, I would say. But LeBron physically, like, is about like built like Bo Jackson. But would he be as coordinated football wise? He obviously seemed like he probably could have had a chance in professional football if he focused on it. But like, I wonder if Bo probably could have played basketball. I mean, Bo was. It's fun. Like when you go watch that one documentary, the 30 for 30 with Bo, where he's like, dude, his hips are, been replaced and, he's not the athlete he was, but like he's doing like the aero stuff and he's like elite, like Olympic level strength and accuracy. And he's just an athlete. He just can pretty much do anything. Had the best fake milk mustache. Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, yeah. That's a good comparison, obviously, because he played two sports. He was like, he was a little smaller, a little bit more slim, but yeah, he was just as good of an athlete. I agree, for sure. Bo Jackson was the GOAT on Tecmo Bowl. He ran so fast you could not control him. Yep, he was the Tecmo Bowl GOAT. No, hands down. He was a what do you call it? A cheat code. We will never get to see Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders again. No pro team would ever allow it these days. I was talking with the Collects guys the other day about like will we ever see two sport players again? And you're right, they just won't let it happen. Kyler Murray theoretically could have done it. And of course, my Oakland A's wasted a draft pick on Kyler Murray. He was the 7th pick in the MLB draft. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I get why they won't let them do it, but they, you only live once. They should let people do it if they want to bad enough. You have a favorite sports team? Basketball, baseball, football. Basketball, Utah Jazz. The only team that I am diehard, ride or die, will always love is the Utah Jazz. I grew up from 10 to 38 in Utah, so I was there a long time. And all we had was the Utah Jazz. They'd break our hearts every year. But that's the team I would cry if they won the title. That's the team. Oakland A's, I'm pretty big into. That's my team for baseball and always has been. And football, I liked the Chargers growing up. I'm in Vegas now, so I'm trying to get into but I wasn't like hardcore enough a Charger fan that I'm like sticking with them. That makes sense. So I'm trying to get into the Raiders, which I know is the opposite. I shouldn't if I was a Chargers fan, but I'm trying to get in the Raiders. I'm having a hard time caring. But I think I need to go to a couple games, so that will get me into it. Or maybe live here 3 or 4 or 5 years, and I'll get more into it. But so the Raiders are my football team at the moment. My college team is University of Utah. That's where I went to school. I'm also ride or die. I love the University of Utah. Yeah, Russell Wilson could have made it both. Yeah, he was drafted by the Rockies, right? He's got a Bowman card, doesn't he? Yeah, he has football and Call of Duty. That's true. He is like a lead in Call of Duty. That's a good point. Bo Jackson dominated the running back position in the NFL for fun. Then after had his hip replaced, he homered in his first at bat. The baseball player he was becoming was just insane. Here's the thing that makes Bo so good. You're right. He was probably not putting his total effort into football. I think he might have been putting more effort into baseball, but we could probably say he wasn't 100% in either, right? At the trajectory he was on, if he didn't get injured, and obviously injuries ruin a lot of Hall of Fame careers, there's a good argument, I would say almost a sure thing, that he probably would have been a Hall of Famer in both sports, baseball and football. He was an all-pro in football, I believe. He was an all-star in baseball. He still played baseball after his hip replacement, the only person to ever play a professional sport after that, I believe. He played for the Angels and the White Sox. He was not as good, but he was still good enough to make the team in professional level and better than AAA players. So he's got a cool story, man, without a doubt. I'm a Chief fan, so we have some rivalry. LOL. That is true. You guys got the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye. Speaking of great Tecmo Bowl players, he was another player that was awesome in that game. Joe Montana played for you guys. Yeah. I have a buddy here in Vegas. His name is Archie. He's from Kansas City, so we talk a lot. He went to school with Sudeikis and Paul Rudd, the same high school, same like different years, but like they were within the same range. They knew each other vaguely. So he's a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. So I can't hate him because he's my friend. So Walker Kessler and Okai Agubaji, you're going to be good. We're set up really well. We're really set up well. We got a lot of picks. Walker Kessler was a steal. We got rid of Rudy Gobert, which is proving to be a good idea. Feel terrible about Donovan because Donovan was my favorite player, but I feel like, I feel like rebuilding is okay when you feel like and one thing Ainge does well is like he has a plan. It may not work out. I think it will. It may not work out, but at least you can say he's got an idea of what he's doing. Some teams I feel like never, like it felt like the Sacramento Kings were just going to be that team forever. And they're finally on a good path, which is awesome. I'm happy for him. Kyler Murray was drafted to the MLB. Yeah, 7th pick, I think, by the A's. What's the deal with Bo and him not signing the scorecard with the bat and shoulder pads? Oh, I'm not sure about that. That's a good question. Does anybody know? Let us know if you know. I don't know that. What are your thoughts on potential UFC and boxing cards? I like them. I think you can make money in them if you're buying at the right price and, dollar boxing like me. I got a bunch of them the other day. Let me show you. This is my play. I bought yesterday, I think I bought about 4. There was more, but I bought maybe 30 UFC cards. They're not, it's these ones, these Panini Instant ones that I had been in another video. Look at these, 44 of 50. So there's only 50 of these. They had I didn't want to spend $70, $80 on these. They had more. So I just picked the best players, best guys I knew. 1 of 50. These are so low numbered that at $1, I felt like they were a good deal. I bought a bunch of them already. I put them on Whatnot and made more than $1, and I've sold a few, 5, 10-ish. So I think they'll sell okay. They're good looking cards. I tried to pick people I think I know a little bit. I don't know. Like this one I just picked because I liked the design. So there's some guys I don't know. Like here's some other bargain bin plays I've done. Like this will be in a video coming up, but I'll show. Well, maybe I should save those. But I'll show you like the ones I got in down in Dallas. John Henderson, you guys remember him? Really good for a couple years on the Jaguars for the 3. May or may not have been the best buy in the world. Cam Ward, he's still in college, so I picked that up. Traquan Smith, numbered to 25, so this is low numbered. Numbered to 25. I think he's still on the Saints. Hittner, Dante Hittner, remember him? I think I picked this one up for $1 today. Devontae Price. He's a rookie from this year. Max Hall, I love these helmet cards. This actually looks like it's probably about a $10 to $12 card ship. BYU, I hate BYU, but, these ones turned out not to be as good of a buy as I had hoped. I paid $3 a piece, and some of them aren't worth much more than $3. But these are the Tom Brady rookie year, Contenders 2000. So I feel like they have some historical value for that. Thanks for the content. I just subscribed. Got to go to bed. Take care. I've got to end here soon. I'm having fun talking with y'all. Instant or undervalued, online only and numbered should be more in demand. Yeah, they're undervalued. They don't sell incredibly well because I do have a few, and I have sold them. They don't sell great, but at $1, they're a good buy. You make the money on the buy. At $3, I might not pick them up. At $5, I wouldn't. But at $1, I think they're a safe buy. Could be, I'll sell enough to where I should be profitable and then move some on Whatnot for more than $1. I should do well. Marketing is a baller. He is. Knockdown 3-point shooter who blocks shots. Sick future ahead for that kid. I hope we get one. I definitely hope we get one title. I would be super stoked. Archie got them biscuits, though. Yes, Roseanne Barr. You know who I'm talking about. Biscuit Butt. That's his name on YouTube. Archie, my buddy from Kansas City. Bradley Helston Bo was not paid by the company or something, and he doesn't want nothing to do with them. Interesting. I love wrestling, so hoping it becomes popular. Me too. I dig the wrestling stuff a lot. I hope wrestling becomes popular. I like all the stuff. F1, had a huge spike and then kind of died down. At least the, top stuff. The Futura stuff is still super valuable, but not as crazy as it was. I appreciate you guys. I'm probably going to call it a day. I got to get back to listing. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I probably should have a schedule and do this on a particular day. Let me just answer some people since they're commenting. They're tough because they aren't numbered like the rest of the Panini cards. One of X, yeah, that's true. I remember watching Prime WWE. I tried to tune in, and I don't know a single wrestler. My wrestling era, I do remember the Attitude Era really well. My best friend was super into it, so I followed a little because of that. But my era's '93. Think Royal Rumble '93. Those are my guys. The 1-2-3 kid before he was X-Pac. Scott Hall back when he was Razor Ramon. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, whoever, those guys. Like 89 to 93 is my WWE, WWF era. Enjoyed listening while I was listing. I'll keep an eye out for your next one. Thanks. Awesome, man. I'm going to try to have my next video out tomorrow. But this was cool. I'm glad. It's cool we had some people in here. I wasn't expecting as many people showing up, so that's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to try to do at least one a week. I'll try to figure out an actual day and schedule it. I'll do these a couple times a week, though, if people are digging them. It's fun. Might not always be. I was planning on like an hour, but of course I talk too much. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to end the stream. Hit me up on Instagram if you ever have any questions about anything. That's the best place to get a hold of me. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one and best of luck in all of your endeavors. Take care, guys.